What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nick here, and here we are. This is it, the Big Brother 27 recap show finale. I didn't think it would get here this soon, but all good things must come to an end. I even dressed up for the occasion. So, um, obviously today, hold on. Obviously today we're going to be recapping the final week inside the Big Brother house. Not so much the final week, just the final days, because there was only like 3 days left after Ava's eviction. So we'll recap the whole season finale, and we'll let you know who walked away with the $750,000 grand prize, as well as America's favorite house guests. We're also going to look back at all the house guests, and we'll see if my opinion changed on of any of them. And we'll look at the top 10 moments of Big Brother 27 this season. So let's dive right in. I am also still fighting a little cough, so just bear with me. I'm going to try to hold back my coughing during this presentation. So just know I'm doing my best. Um, okay, we are set. All right, so for the last time this season, let's get into the recap. So we're going to talk about the season finale. We're going to reveal the winner and America's favorite house guest. And the big question, who is the mastermind? We're going to tell you who that is in just a matter of moments. So Ava has just been evicted from the Big Brother house, but she didn't go without a fight. She gathered the house guests together for a last minute house meeting prior to the eviction, and she told everybody she doesn't want to leave as a liar. She wants to leave the house knowing that she told the truth. So Ava told everyone that Vince is not planning to take Morgan to final two. And yeah, pretty much. I don't know. Don't trust Vinny, basically, because he will cut you. Stuff like that. And rooting for Ashley to make it to the end. So, oh, sorry, I forgot to do that. So, here we are at finale night. And here are our three finalists, Morgan, Vince, and Ashley. One of these people is going to win $750,000. One of them is going to win $75,000. And the other person is going to go empty handed. So let the games begin. It is time for the final head of household competition of the season, which means this one is a three-parter. Whoops. Anyway, so part one is usually an endurance competition. The winner of part one, or I think I have a slide that explains it all. Oh, no, I guess not. Okay, so let me run down how the HOH is going to work. The winner of part one immediately goes to part three on finale night. The two losers will then have to face off in part two of the HOH competition. The winner moves on to face the winner of part one on finale night. The loser becomes the first nominee in the final round of eviction and waits for their fate to be decided. So actually let's look at what they're doing. They're hanging onto this little glider. It's going to be moving around. It's going to be tilting them. They're going to have fans in their eyes. And they have to hold on for dear life. So I think it was like roughly an hour of that. The part one winner was Morgan. But are we surprised though? Actually, I was, because last time there was an endurance competition, Morgan did not win that, and Vince ended up winning. Actually, ended up winning both endurance competitions. So I'm quite shocked, honestly. Okay, so before we move on to part two, it's time for the annual jury roundtable, where the six jurors will get together and discuss the good and the bad, the pros and the cons of the final three. First, they had to reveal that Ava was the sixth member of the jury, and so Ava caught everyone up to speed uh, on what happened and how she made it to where she is now. I'm looking for a clip that I'm going to need pretty soon, and I think I have to go to TikTok for it. I'm just gonna check real quick. Actually, I think I have to go to X. I'm sorry. I should have been a little prepared. This is live. Let me see if they have it. Oh, yep. Okay, so I got a little soundbite for you when we get to it. So anyway, so the six get together and they realize as they start comparing notes, yeah, Morgan's been winning the comps. Yeah, Vince screwed all of them over, but what has Ashley done, you know? And a lot of them argued that her social game was on point, which kind of was, honestly. She was not a wimp. She was, granted, she didn't do much with competitions, but um she was a straight shooter. Like if she was going to say something, she's going to tell it to your face, you know? She wasn't scared to do that. As we've seen, Keanu has been the victim of that many a times. Oh, by the way, the jury roundtable is hosted by Cody Calafiore, runner-up of Big Brother 16 and the winner of Big Brother All-Stars. So let's keep that in mind. So anyway, now the jury has to come together and create some questions to ask the final two on finale night in order to help decide who is going to win the game. But before we get there, before we get to finale night, we got to get to part 2 of the HOH final. And this is a puzzle competition. Usually this competition also incorporates either the days or the events that happened in the house. So in this, there's a bunch of billboards that Ashley and Vince have to knock over, and they're going to be skydiving or gliding through the sky. I don't know what's the proper term, but so they got to do that. And once they knock them over, then they have to build pictures of the evicted house guests, and then this is a crucial piece of evidence. They have to determine the order in which they were evicted. Sounds simple, right? One house guest didn't think so. In fact, he misunderstood the assignment. And we're going to find out in just a minute. But first, I have to let you know that this part 2 of the final HOH is hosted by a special guest, the legendary Frankie Grande. Yes, the Frankie Grande, who is related to my wifey, Ariana Grande, who I will be seeing on the big screen in just 7 weeks. Oh my God, we're getting close to Wicked for good. I'm so excited. Also, so you're probably thinking, well, why is he even here? Because Frankie was also in Big Brother 16 and he returned for Big Brother Reindeer Games. So he is part of the Big Brother franchise. So and they're probably also thinking, okay, well, why is he here? Well, I'm sure everything will explain itself later on. And he is not here alone. He is joined by the mastermind himself. That's right, the mastermind showed up in the flesh, waiting in the shadows to possibly take another victim. I don't know. We're going to see what happens. All right, the moment of truth. One person's going to the HOH final, to the end of the HOH final. The other person goes to sit on the block. Who is going? Ashley. And this was the shot. This was the first gag of the night because Ashley, I was not expecting her to win. I thought Vince was going to take this hands off right then and there. So Ashley and Morgan are going to compete to become the final head of household of the season. Whoever wins the final head of household is going to cast the final eviction vote of the season, choosing who they're going to sit next to in the final two and who to send to jury. So good luck to those two girls. But Vinny boy, he dropped the ball hard. Yeah, he didn't do so good in this competition. And he realized, remember when I said that you had to find the order in which the house guests were evicted? He misread the directions and thought it said what days did those evicted house guests get evicted. And actually Ashley did the same mistake too, but then she read the card again and she was like, "Oh, I got to fix this now." So, it was too little, too late for Vince. And Vince decides to have a big meltdown. And yes, we do have the audio for you.
Made the same mistake. What was Come here, look. Each player left the game. No, in the order. I feel like the stupidest person on the planet. Because I can't read directions. I just lost $750,000 because I can't read directions. Just give me 30. I don't deserve to win. I don't deserve to win. I'm awful. If other people beat me, I give credit when credit is due. I beat myself. I beat me. Loser. Oh, damn. Game. I worked my ass off for 3 months. And I can't win when I need to. There's a lot of worst case scenarios this season, but this is by far the worst. Congratulations, Ashley. You have won.
Yeah, so that was pretty rough. He was beating himself up pretty good for that. So, and Morgan, so people are probably wondering, well, why didn't Morgan jump in? Well, that would have been cheating. Come on now. Be smart. But Morgan caught that right off the bat, and she's like, "Oh my God, Vince." Yeah. So needless to say, it was time once again for the extremely long hug. Except Vince needed it for real this time. And if you're Ashley, you're just standing there like, well, where do I go from here? So, yeah, awkward. Nevertheless, the winner of the part 2 also got to unmask the mastermind. So, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 months, it's time to find out who the mastermind is. Who is the mastermind behind the mask? None other than Dr. Will, former winner, Big Brother 2, and an all-star from season 7. And I was not surprised. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Because his gameplay was a sneaky house guest, backstab to get to the end, and ended up winning the whole thing season 2. So, it was no secret that he was the mastermind. Or so we thought. Because the police bring out Dr. Will and take him away, and he is going around saying that it's not him on the video. He swears it's not him. Someone made AI. Someone made an AI video, which is possibly true, honestly. It is so easy to put the finger on somebody and make fake evidence to book somebody. It's super easy now to do that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens from there. But anyway, the moment has come. It's time to crown the final HOH of the season. Let me get my music ready real quick. Sorry. Okay. Okay, we're ready. So here we go. It's down to Morgan and Ashley. One of them is about to become the final head of household. Plus, they are also going to guarantee themselves at least $75,000 right off the bat. But they will have the responsibility of casting the final eviction vote of the season. So, and usually this last round is about the jurors. You're going to be answering questions. Recent years, it's been statements about the jurors, basically in the format of two truths and a lie. You're basically playing two truths and a lie, but you're going to find the lie. So that's what they're doing in this round. So, who is the final head of household of the season? I can tell before I release the name, let me remind you that they did not even finish this because one person got all her questions correct and the other girl tanked so hard. She only got one correct. So at that point, it was point of no return. So with that, the final head of household of the season is Ashley. The second gag of the night. Because I seriously thought it was going to be Morgan. I really thought so. I thought, oh my gosh, she's not going to give Ashley a chance. Like, she's going to steamroll her. But nevertheless, Ashley prevailed. She is now guaranteed at least $75,000, and she will be singing Final Two. But there is still business to take care of. We still have the final eviction of the season, and it's the most crucial one yet. By choosing who you're sending to jury, you're also choosing who is going to sit in the final two with you and guarantee them at least $75,000. So, it all comes down to this. We've been talking about the Lovebirds all season long. They've been a package duo, but now their fate lies in Ashley's hands. It's time to split up Morgan and Vince. So, who is Ashley going to evict from the house? Well, if you're at home and you're trying to think of who she should send home to guarantee her $750,000, I think it's pretty clear you don't want to be sitting next to someone who's been beasting the comps. Even though both of them have been beasting comps, but only one person has burned the jury. So if that's the case, you need to take the person who's been burned by the jury. And with that being said, Ashley casts the final eviction vote of the season. She votes to evict Morgan. The comp beast herself over the last few weeks of the game. It all blew up in her face at the very end. And with that, Morgan is the final house guest evicted from the Big Brother house. So for the final time this season, let's update the memory wall. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 15 black and white pictures and only 2 remain. It's all come down to this. Real quick, we need to update the jury and time to fill our final jury spot. Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury is complete. It's time to vote for a winner. It's time to vote. So the jury it is revealed to the jury that Morgan became the final juror, and needless to say, their reactions were shocked. They were shooketh. I think they were planning to see more Ashley sitting next to them, maybe even Vince, because in the goodbye, not the exit interview, Morgan stated that she was going to take Ashley to final two, meaning if Morgan had won the HOH, she was going to evict Vince. And then that would have been a shock. But this was even a bigger gag. So the gags were running all night long. This was a shocking finale. And then Rachel, of course, was very pleased to hear that Ashley won. Let me say something real quick. Let me see if they have the reaction. Sorry, just looking real quick.
And final member
I thought they were gonna have. Thought they were gonna have Rachel's reaction. Oh. Hmm. I guess not. I'll do one of those. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can find a clip. Oh, here we go.
Everybody knows Ashley won the final head of household competition, and Ashley chose to evict Morgan and to take Vince with her to the final two.
Yeah, Rachel's reaction was priceless. So, the jury is now on stage, and it's time for the interrogation to begin. Now, the final two are ready for whatever about to come to them, and the jury came ready. They started grilling everyone. They went in on Ashley on what were her biggest game moves, like how was her social game, how would you describe your social game and all that. But then Vince got to get some questions about why he burned so many people, and were you playing for Morgan or were you playing for yourself? You got to decipher that. But the questions were pretty good. They were panicking a little bit because I think they started doing their final two speeches. But anyway, so it comes down to the final speech. Ashley, it said her strategy was to channel her inner Elle Woods from Legally Blonde to downplay her intelligence, but still, maintain her social game. Don't don't let nobody run her and all that. So she channeled that, and she stated how competitions were not her strong point, but she's just solely relied on her social game. And Vince, this was your moment to own up to what you did and the people you burned, and it doesn't seem like you did it, especially because Kelly was laughing in the jury. um, I don't think she believed you. But anyway, it was time for the jury to cast their votes for the winner. One at a time, they entered the podium and placed their key for their winner. The votes will be revealed momentarily. But first, they have to reveal the secrets. For starters, Zach called Vince out on all his final twos that he had in the house. So I think based on previous things we've seen, he had a final two with Kelly. I think he had one with Jimmy, with Zach, with Riley, and with Keanu, and then Lauren, and then Morgan. It's like, bruh, you shot yourself in the foot, okay? And then it was time to reveal that Amy, Stockton girl Amy, was the mastermind's accomplice. It was quite a shock. Only Rachel knew the secret, or at least everyone that was in the jury and the final two were finding out for the first time. Everybody else got to see the show. So she did a real good job downplaying that. So, as I mentioned earlier, we got to see that Dr. Will was behind the mastermind mask, or so we thought. It turns out Dr. Will was indeed the scapegoat, and there was another person behind the mask. And it's someone that Big Brother fans can have seen on a regular basis. The mastermind was none other than Jesse from Big Brother 10 and Big Brother 11, who's known for rocking his spectacular abs all around the house and just being self-absorbed with himself in a good way. So, but if you know something about masterminds, the best masterminds don't work alone. Oh, yes, they had help. And indeed, Jesse had help. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there was another mastermind. There were two masterminds. So, who was the second mastermind? I'll give you a hint. It's a former house guest who I actually did mention in this presentation just not too long ago. It was none other than Frankie Grande. It all makes sense now. And he actually dropped the ball earlier by saying it feels like I've been here forever or something like that. Or it feels like I never left, you know? I don't know. But um, you know what they say about groups? The big forces always work better in three, meaning there was a third mastermind. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, this is where the gagging continues because I was not expecting this. But the third mastermind was probably the biggest gag of the night. It was someone I was not expecting to see anytime soon. It was none other than Eric from Big Brother 8. Yes, people don't talk about this guy a lot, other than the fact that, well, actually, you're probably wondering. Let me back that up. You're probably wondering why these guys got chosen for the mastermind twist. Well, let's go back. Let's start with Jesse. Jesse was screwed over by America not once, but twice. In season 10, the America's Player twist, America got to choose who to vote for eviction that week, and America sealed Jesse's fate and sent him packing. And that also set off a chain of fights and events that happened later that night. It's quite interesting. So, but then it happened again in season 11 when America voted for one house guest to receive the coup d'etat power. So basically, coup d'etat means to overthrow. And that person got to overthrow the HOH and their nominations. And the winner of the coup d'etat got to put up their own nominees for eviction. Jesse was one of the replacement nominees and got sent packing that same night. Boy, I think Jesse's reason was justified. Now Frankie, I think this I think Big Brother 16 was his for the taking until the final 5 pressed a rewind button that redid the entire week. So Frankie won both HOH and the veto 1 week and was about to send either Cody or Derek to jury. And the rewind twist played in and erased that whole week, and in return sent Frankie to the nomination chair and was ultimately evicted from the house. I think Frankie could have made it farther if that twist didn't screw him over. Now with Eric, I did mention America's Player. He was the first one that did the America's Player. So all season long, America did Eric's bidding. America gave him tasks on what to do for the week, such as like crazy stunts, who to get nominated for eviction, and most importantly, who to vote for eviction. And it worked out. Well, the problem is that he never got to play for himself. He had to play for America. And ultimately, it didn't work because I think he was evicted on final 5. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, each of their reasons were justified. So, there was 3 masterminds in total, and this was quite a twist. It was quite a gag. All right. Now that the secrets are out, it's time to pick a winner. Let me get situated. Situated real quick. Okay. Okay, so let's see how the jury votes fell. Rachel, this one's not going to be this is going to be a no-brainer. Her vote was for Ashley. Will's vote. Oh, by the way, we're going to get through all jury votes before I declare the winner, okay? Just so there's you need 4 votes to win, and I will go through all the votes, okay? Will voted, this is a no-brainer also, Ashley. Kelly voted for Ashley. Well, of course, Vince did you dirty. I think it's pretty clear you need to vote for Ashley. Lauren's vote was for Ashley. This was the final gag of the night. Like, I was shocked. I was shocked with her vote. I was not. I thought she was going to be a dum dum and vote for Vince. I was shocked to find out she voted for Ashley. That's wild. Keanu voted for Ashley. Ava voted for Ashley. And Morgan's vote was for Vince. Okay, sympathy vote. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner has been declared. Oh, and you could see the reaction. That was Lauren's vote. And Vince was all like, ooh, I messed up bad. Even Ashley was shocked. But ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Big Brother 27 is Ashley Hollis. Congratulations. Big round of applause. 6-1 vote. Almost a landslide vote. But you can guarantee this jury was bitter. Let's just go with that. Okay, y'all. It's time to announce America's favorite house guest. The person who wins America's favorite house guest gets $50,000. So, who did America choose as favorite house guest? My boy Keanu. Congratulations. This was a much deserved win. With all the trouble he had to go through this season, he deserved it, man. I'm so happy for him. Good job. All right, so and yet there's no more crying. Finally, there's no more crying, Vince. No more crying. Okay. Okay. Let me get my phone ready. It is time to do our player reevaluation. Okay, I went and did the timestamps yesterday before I did the video. Okay, so we're going to go through all the house guests again, and we're going to listen to what I said about them at the beginning, and then I'm going to tell you what my opinion is of them now. The only person we're going to exclude is Rachel because I didn't get time to do her opinion. So, so we'll start with Zay. Let's see what I had to say about him. All right, next we have Isaiah Zay, aka Zay Frederick, age 23, Paducah, Kentucky, currently living in Provo, Utah, and his occupation is a salesperson. When I saw his picture and then I saw what his age, I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way this fool's 23 years old. No way. Because if he is 23, what am I doing wrong here? I'm tired. I look a mess. I'm 28. I still do. I don't know. I guess God did good and graced this kid with a beautiful persona, beautiful personality. So, you know, that just shows that God works in many ways. God is good. Not to get religious and all, but this boy was graced. So, salesperson, that means his social skills have to be pretty good. I can already tell he's going to be a comp beast. I already feel it. So, Isaiah, you need to watch your back these first couple weeks, or you could possibly be a pre-jury evictee. Well, I was correct that he was going to be a pre-juror. I wish I could say his social game was great, but it was whack. He ended up not being a comp beast at all because he was the first person evicted. He kept running his mouth, making it bluntly clear that he was coming after Rachel. and didn't realize how much of a pull Rachel had with the house. So, yeah, he kind of just shot himself in the foot with that. So, can't feel sorry for you, Zay. But, good luck to you in your endeavors. All right, next up is Stockton girl, Amy. I really wish she would do like a meet and greet because I would love to go and meet her, I gotta rep my local people, okay? Hey, Amy, if you're watching, see if you can get signed up for Comic-Con, okay? All right, let's listen to Amy. Okay, next up we have Amy Bingham, age 43, from Stockton, California. And we'll talk about that in a sec. Her occupation is an insurance agent. And nowadays insurance is it's gone viral. It's like where the money is being made. So that's pretty good. I would say that's a pretty good occupation. Now, I'm flipping out here. Everyone here is flipping out because Amy, as you can tell, her hometown is Stockton, California, which this recording is happening 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes from Stockton, California. So, basically she's going to be a hometown hero, a hometown celebrity. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Amy functions in the house. She's definitely okay. So I watched her preseason interview. She's very much a girly girl. She is probably going to be the one that tries to gather the girls together to try to do an all-girl alliance. Good luck, because we've seen it every year, and it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, wait. Every year someone tries to do an all-girls alliance, and then they start attacking each other, and it's craziness. Okay, so I was correct. She did try to make a girls alliance. She had a little girl. I think it was called the Girls. It was her, Rachel, and I think she brought Ashley in at the last minute. And I think Rachel and Ashley, once Amy left, they kind of became that package deal. I think it could have went very far. It's just, I don't know. I guess Jimmy just had it out for Amy. I don't know what it was, but she cried. I didn't realize she cried too much. She cried so much in the house. I'm like, come on, girl, come on. And then Vince took that title over shortly after. But nevertheless, congrats for making it on to Big Brother. It was great for you to represent the 209. And who knows, maybe our paths will cross in the future. Okay, next we have Adrian. Let's get to his video. All right, let's dive right in and let's meet our Big Brother 27 house guests. The 16 house guests we will be watching under big surveillance, lots of surveillance over the next 3 months. Starting with Adrian Roca, age 23, from his hometown is San Antonio, Texas. His occupation is a carpenter. It's pretty good. It's got a good build for a carpenter. I watched a little bit of his preseason interview. He is very giddy. He's clearly a super fan. And my advice to Adrian is he needs to tone down the super fan a little bit. He's talked about how he's prepped to become a have-not. He's slept on the floor. He's ate slop. He's basically lived the Big Brother game from where he lived. So my advice to Adrian is he needs to tone down the super fan just a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. But nevertheless, I think he will be a likable person in the house. Why not? He's smiling. By the way, if you did not watch Big Brother 26 last year, you probably won't get the Janky World reference because that was a huge part of Big Brother 26. Okay. I was correct. Adrian was well liked in the house. And he could have made it. I didn't realize how much of a super fan he really was. He freaking did the wall comps, everything at his house, and I didn't realize his love for bread. And he could have made it very far, but then Lauren went and picked him because she didn't know what to do on her HOH. She let Vince run that HOH. I'm still pissed about that. Like Adrian really got screwed over. Like that still makes me mad. Okay? Like he deserved a chance, and Lauren he got evicted because the HOH didn't know what the she was doing. So I can't forgive Lauren for that at all. Okay, we got Jimmy next. Whoops. There we go. Next, we have Jimmy Hagerty. Oh my God, Hagerty. I hope that I said that right. I apologize, Jimmy, once you see this. Age 25, Sarasota, Florida, currently living in Washington, D.C. Occupation, an AI consultant. Huh. I wonder where you were last season, Jimmy? Sorry. I wonder where you were last season when we had the AI theme. So right away I can tell. Obviously he's got a bubbly personality. He definitely is outgoing, outspoken. He is out. He said this in his preseason interview. I think he can get along with a lot of people. And if he definitely needs to watch it on the comps. But if he, is good with the right people, I think he can make it to jury at least. But once jury begins, then he really needs to watch his back. Maybe that's the time you need to start winning comps, Jimmy, because they're going to look at that and be like, oh, Jimmy has friends in the jury, no shot. So we'll see. Yes, I was right. He was outgoing. He was outspoken, but I didn't realize that his mouth was going to get him in trouble in this game, especially with Keanu. I think a lot of people, once he was fighting with Keanu, a lot of people kind of saw Jimmy as a threat. Rachel, so Jimmy was targeting Rachel first night, and then next thing you know, they're like BFFs in the house. And then he had the alliance with Morgan and Mickey, but then they decided to pull the wool over his eyes and get him sent out. So that was wild. But yeah, I didn't like that he was coming for Keanu like that. He kind of had a bitchy personality. So yeah, it kind of sucks that it went down like that, but that's what it is. Okay, next we have Zach. Let's hear from Zach. I believe this is the last house guest. Zach Cornell, age 27, Cartersville, Georgia. This is 27. I'm 28. I'm not jealous. I'm sorry. Yes, I am jealous. Okay. What are you talking about? Still am. Marketing manager. Still am. Okay, so this boy's smart. He is obviously his social skills has got to be good. So that could be his that could be his strength, or that could be his weakness. We'll find out when we get into the house. But there's also something else about Zach that we need to discuss. Something good, of course. So, of course. Hold on. What was that? So, Zach Cornell is a former baseball player, professional baseball player. Or maybe he was college, but he was definitely a professional baseball player. What was his team? His birthday is 2 days before mine. Yeah. That's awesome. We're going to be 28 together for like 2 days, and that's it. The Fredericksburg Nationals, so this is a college team. His average was a .209, RBI 6. If you're baseball stats people, let me know if this is good or bad. He was, let's see. He signed to the Nationals. Or no, he started professional in February of 2020. Let me see if, let's stop talking about baseball. So if Zach and Vince find out that they both played baseball, I could see them being a duo. It was not mentioned, not once. Have to wait and see. But I could tell his social skills are going to be really good. He could make it to jury. It's possible. So be careful, Zach. You could be a comp beast, and that could be your downfall real quick. Okay, so just be careful. Okay. Yeah, it was not mentioned at all between the two. That well, I mean, they did actually get along. Zach and Vince were actually together, so they must have traded the baseball stories. And yes, Zach could have made it to jury because he had the twist that would have saved him, but he didn't use it because he knew that Morgan was going to go on the block if that were the case, if he did take himself off the block. So, a lot of people were giving him crap about that because he had the power, he could have saved himself. It's what it is. Oh, and yeah, we are going to, Zach, if you're watching, we're going to be 28 for 2 days, and then I'll be 29, so just had to throw that in your face a little bit. But nevertheless, his personality was really good. Got along with a lot of people. Very emotional, especially with Zay's eviction. Oh my God, was not expecting that from him. But yeah, I'm glad that him and Vince actually ended up being friends in the house. Sadly, they were sitting next to each other on the block, so. Yeah. Oh boy, this guy. All right, next we have Riley Jeffries, age 27, from Luther, Oklahoma. Oh, what a beautiful name this year, Luther. Occupation, professional bull rider. No surprise. So that means that guy is built. But I think I pray he's not the competition type. Maybe if he's smart, he will tone down the beast mode and just he's trying to be like beast mode cowboy from Big Brother 16, Caleb. That's probably his idol. So I would say just focus on. Let's see how your social skills are. Hopefully he's not going to get into any showmances, but girls go crazy for a cowboy nowadays. So we'll see. I think he'll make it to jury for sure. I really do. Boy, was I ever wrong about Riley. He did make the jury, but he did get into showmance. I called that right off the bat. And just the stories of him, how he talks to women and all that, like that's kind of ugh. And he was my final 2 pick, and also he did get screwed, honestly, when Rachel nominated him as a replacement nominee, and Morgan saw this as an opportunity. Hey, let's get him out. I'm wondering if this wasn't when this was when the judges was formed. So yeah, the judges was formed this particular week to save Morgan from the block and get Riley out of the house. So, but yeah, you shocked me, Riley. Okay, next we have Catherine. Okay. Next we have Catherine Woodman, age 23, from Gwinnett County, Georgia, currently living in Columbia, South Carolina, and her occupation is a fine dining server. So not only is she a server, but she serves in very expensive restaurants. So your customer service has to be top tier to get a job in one of those restaurants. Maybe even Hell's Kitchen. I don't know. But she's definitely got the personality for it. She looks really good. I don't know if she's looking for a showmance. We'll find out. I have a feeling she's going to look at Isaiah and be like, oh, and then that's when your game's going to go bye-bye. So, or she could be the blonde that we underestimate, like Mackenzie. And Mackenzie made it to final 2 last year, so maybe Catherine could surprise us, make it to final 2 this year. And I believe Mackenzie was around this age too. Well, she definitely didn't have the hots for Zay. She ended up having the hots for Riley. Of all people. It is what it is. Catherine, yeah, she kind of. I predicted she was gonna be in the background quite a bit, and she was. Her and Lauren. She did win one veto, I believe. Uh, yeah, not much to say about Catherine. It's kind of what it is what it is. Okay, next we have Mickey. We miss you already, girl.
All right, next we have Mickey Lee, age 35, from Jacksonville, Florida, currently living in Atlanta, Georgia, the ATL. Occupation, event curator. So basically, an event planner, basically. Especially with summertime going on, pretty popular. I like her attitude. I think she's gonna be. I think her social skills will be good. I think she's gonna gun for the competitions as well. She's definitely down for backstabbing. Probably. I don't know for sure yet. We'll find out. But I think she's gonna rely heavily on her social skills to get her through the game. Do I think she can make it to jury? We'll see.
Yeah, I was pretty spot on about that. She ended up being the last pre-juror. Her social game did get her very far. Some competition wins also got her to where she ended up. She did do some backstabbing. She did take away Riley's HOH. She did put Jimmy up on the block as a result. So yeah. And then she got the tables flipped on her because they tried like 2 or 3 times to get Mickey out of the house before it was finally time. So yeah. Okay. Again, I don't have anything on Rachel. Good job, Rachel. Okay, Will.
Sorry, I'm holding back yawns. Okay, next we have Clifton, aka Will Williams. I have a feeling we're going to be calling him Will on the show. We'll find out what he says. Age 50, from Wallace, South Carolina, currently in Charlotte, North Carolina. Occupation is a college sports podcaster. Very nice, Will. I'm just going to call him Will until the show begins and, you know, see what he says. But sports podcasting, podcasts are on the rise. A lot of people getting into those, especially in the sports. I think he said he was covering girls college basketball. Yeah, college girls basketball. So this boy knows his sports. He knows I think he has to have a good social game because he's used to talking on a platform. So he could talk for days.
Whoops.
If I'm correct, he's the elder of the group right now. Could be the elder just altogether. So we'll see. I just pray. This is my promise, or this is what I hope for the elder people of the group. I just hope they don't get cast away, because I've seen this happen in seasons where age is a factor for nominations, especially that first week. It's a real cop out move. So give the elderly people a chance.
I called it and it happened week 2. Amy and Will were sitting on the block, and Amy ended up being the second person out. She, I think, was the second oldest person of the group. Will, I'm happy you made it to jury, so that's good. He ended up being well-liked house guest, and he was in the running for America's Favorite House Guest as well, with Rachel and Keanu. I'm pretty sure he got third place though, because I know for sure Rachel got second. She was not that far behind with votes. Nevertheless, it was sad to see Will go, but time goes on. All right, Kelly. Let's see what I said about you.
All right, next we have Kelly Jorgensen, age 29, Fairbanks, South Dakota, and her occupation is a web designer. Money. I would love to do web designing.
What the?
I need to do some more college for that.
She's 29 years old. I'm 28 years old. Hello, Kelly. I do believe she. I don't know how her social game is. We're gonna find out. I feel like she can make an alliance with what's her name? Ava. Maybe her and Ava can make a final two or something. But web designer, that's pretty cool. Do I think she can make it to jury? I think so. I think she could. I think they're going to underestimate her so much. They're going to not even. She could be one of the people that becomes a multiple pawn. Hopefully that's not the case, but there's always someone. There's always someone in Big Brother who becomes the block star. I called it. Kelly ended up being the block star. She was nominated, I think, like 6 times during her run. 4 just in the first few weeks of the game. It's quite annoying, honestly. Yeah, Kelly ended up being a comp beast. I didn't expect that. I was shocked week after week, but it ultimately came to an end. And then on her final blockbuster, she had to compete with the other comp beast, Keanu, knowing that whoever lost that was likely going to be the one evicted. So, yeah, it was a bit rough. But... Okay, Lauren. We'll see. Hers is going to be real quick. Next, we have Lauren Domingue, age 22, Lafayette, Louisiana. Occupation, bridal consultant. Nice. That's pretty good occupation, too. That's 22, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Anyway, so bridal consultant, that means you got to be good with talking. So I think Lauren could talk specifically the men down, and I definitely think she's going for a showmance in the house. So we'll see. I totally had Lauren figured out wrong. She ended up not knowing how to talk to people. She ended up letting Vince run her game, basically. And, yeah. Yeah, and then of course, the whole Adrian thing, just, yeah, it was a mess. It was such a mess. That's what I think of Lauren. My boy Keanu, man, gone but not forgotten. Next, we have Keanu Soto from age 33, from Miami, Florida, currently living in McKinney, Texas. And his occupation is a dungeon master. Okay, this I forgot to look up. I need to make sure this is right. Oh. So if this is correct, because I'm looking on Google, a dungeon master is essentially the game master or referee in tabletop role-playing games, most commonly Dungeons and Dragons. If that is the case, then I definitely underestimated this dude. I feel like he's going to announce his occupation and people are going to think he's lying, like right off the bat. I believe the referee part because look at how sculpted he is, and when you hear the name Keanu, like Keanu Reeves, you immediately think of Shadow. He's giving us Knuckles with the dreads. I think it's cool. I think it fits him. Definitely need to watch the comps. You need to I guarantee he's going to gun for that first head of household, and then that's when he's going to go spiraling. So, just watch your back, Keanu. It's going to be rough to predict if he's going to jury or not. Well, I did predict he was going to be a comp beast. He spiraled in week 2, but that was Jimmy's fault for doing that. and he ended up being the crowd favorite. A lot of people love to root for the underdogs, and that ended up what happening, especially with week 2 when he announced he's going to pick everybody off one by one until he gets to the end. So that's where he made his mark. Okay, 4 more to go. Ava Pearl. See right there. All right, next we have Ava Pearl, age 24, from Long Island, New York, currently living in New York, New York. Starting to see a pattern here. Occupation is aura painter. Now, I had to do some researching for this. Basically, an aura painter, someone who's obviously an artist, when they paint the person, then they paint basically what's around them, like aura-wise. You know, bringing good vibes, bad vibes, what have you. So, I don't know if she's the social type. Maybe we'll find out. Probably could be an underdog in this game. Or she could, if you all remember Nicole Anthony from Big Brother 21, it's giving those vibes. And she made the final 3, so, you know, maybe Ava could surprise us. Ava did surprise us quite a bit with her, how she talked with people, the whole, I believe you have a prompt. And, you know, I said Nicole, she made it to top 3. Ava made it to top 4. You know, it's interesting. But, yeah, that's all I got to say about Ava, you know. She was just kind of there for the ride a little bit. All right, now our final 3. Morgan. Next, we have Morgan Pope, age 33, from Palm Springs, California, currently living in Los Angeles, California, LA. There you go. Okay, occupation is a gamer. Hey, professional gamer. I'm already liking Morgan to begin with. Does that mean her social skills are good? We're gonna find out. Unless she does some bad mouthing on when she's doing gaming on Twitch. I'll have to see for myself. Perhaps I could go look her. Maybe I can look her up on YouTube. Got any streams? Sorry. Okay, we'll stop it right there. But yeah, her social game ended up being real great because she did a lot of manipulating, especially with Vince. Trying to convince, spending hours trying to convince him to do this move for her, and just looking out for each other, making it to the final 3. Yes, she probably will be back to gaming pretty soon, so just be ready for that. And she won't be too far away from Vince, who lives in West Hills, California. Let's there we go. Let's see what I said about Vince. Okay, next we have Vince Panero, age 34, from West Hills, California. Hey. Occupation, he is unemployed. But I heard some things about Vince Panero that we need to discuss. Nothing bad or nothing, just kind of his former life. He played baseball in the college leagues, so professional college baseball player. Anyway, so that's all I know. Otherwise, he's unemployed. He's going to be one of the randoms in the house for sure, unless he starts bringing up his professional baseball career. Then we'll see how they take that. So I don't know. We'll see how he does. Maybe he has potential of being that last eviction before jury, like Joseph with his big mustaches. Well, I was wrong about that. Clearly made it to final two. Um, yeah, Vince surprised me in this game. Winning comps when need be, uh, just being manipulative, backstabbing, all that kind of stuff. He surprised me. Surprised me, Vince. And now let's see what I said about our winner, Ashley. Looks like I didn't say much about her. Okay, next we have Ashley Hollis, age 25, from Chicago, Illinois, currently living in New York, New York, and she is an attorney. Yes, we've had a couple attorneys on this show, and I think one, if I recall, even one attorney won this series, becoming the first Black person to win Big Brother. I think she could put on a good poker face. I think she would do pretty good. She could get along with a lot of people. Really good at persuading people, maybe manipulating people. We'll see. Yeah, she ended up being a sharpshooter, and I wish she would have made some more. I guess you could say her social game was good. I just wish she would have made some big moves. I guess the only game move that was big that she did was evicting Morgan to give her the win. Because if you had taken Morgan, she would have got. If she had taken Morgan, she would have won second place. Hands down, they would have given it to Morgan. So I know people are going to be mad about it, but Ashley did make the right choice in choosing Vince over Morgan. Oops. Let me get something ready real quick. Okay. So here we are, the top 10 moments of the season. We're going to start with my honorable mention. I tried to, it was so hard to choose. Hold on, let me actually fix my screen real quick. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to fix my screen like that. Okay, we're going to start with the honorable mention. I tried so hard to pick the best moments, and when I couldn't narrow it down to 10, I just had to say, okay, we're just going to give honorable mention. Ashley's toilet paper scandal. Yes, she had toilet paper stuck in her pants, talking to Rachel, and had a full-on conversation with toilet paper stuck in her pants. And she did this not once, but twice. And that second picture was just it was just hours before the finale, I think. That's crazy. But that's honorable mention. Okay, kicking things off at number 10, the Queen has returned. Yes, this was one of the biggest moments of premiere, the biggest moment of premiere night, when Rachel Riley came walking down those stairs, being a queen, being an icon, being a legend that she is, playing Big Brother for the third time in her career. And I'm impressed at how far she made it. We'll talk about her elimination later because it is going to be a big moment. But congrats to you, Rachel, for returning to us. All right, number 9 was the HOH interrogation. This was a really big twist. Michie had the power to overthrow Riley's HOH. And when it was revealed that Michie was the who had the power, Riley was not happy. In fact, they had some words up in the gym room. So it was an interesting twist to see Riley on edge. Okay, number 8, Ashley calls out Keanu. And I don't know why Ashley did it. It's just that she was just bitter that she was on the block, and she needed to have her TV time. And honestly, Keanu, he respected her. He didn't try to fight back or nothing. But anyway, yeah, this honestly should have never happened, but it was a big moment nonetheless. Number 7, the punishments. Yes, the punishments were quite top tier. I love the egg and the butt lure. Those were iconic. Very good punishments. Vince had the egg, by the way, in case you're wondering. And he had to sit on the block on eviction night wearing the egg, in case you're wondering. So, had Keanu lost the blockbuster that night, he would have had to sit on the block with his big old butt. It could have been these two on the block that night. Okay, number 6. I believe you have a prompt. This was an interesting fight. It pushed Ava a little bit, or pressed her. Keanu knew his back was up against the wall, and people were just pushing him up against it, and just kept pushing and pushing. And he won the veto when he needed to, and people were not happy. They let it be known. And Keanu was upset because like he worked hard to get this moment, and so he said, "I believe you have a prompt." And then Ava was not having it. She was like, "You believe I have a what?" And just went off on him. Had to put him in shush mode. They apologized afterwards. Okay, number 5 is hashtag Showergate. This was a pretty big moment because it set up the season. Basically, it really did. It structured the season because it had Ashley's name in everyone's mouth from there on. And it's funny how Vince and Ashley were the final two, when in week 1 Vince was the HOH that put Ashley up on the block, and so for them to sit in final 2 together was just, it was mind blowing, you know. So, but anyway, so if you don't recall, Ashley went up into the HOH room, used Vince's shower, and allegedly took a very, very long shower. Now, Ashley is saying it was only like 30 minutes, and the TV edit made it seem like it was like 2 hours or whatever, but it was enough to get people talking, and using that as a reason to put someone on the block. And eventually it ended up becoming a running gag over the season. Like when people got picked to play for the veto, it would always show Ashley in the shower. So it was a big moment. It really structured the season, whether you believe it or not. Number 4, Jimmy versus Keanu. This was a crazy fight because it also structured the season. Jimmy was the HOH, and he put Keanu on the block. Or no, he didn't put Keanu on the block. Keanu used his power to have a former house guest play for the veto in his behalf, but not without a fight. Keanu let it be known that Jimmy is a snake, and this is where Keanu lets everyone know that he is going to pick everyone off one by one until he gets to the end. And scary part is he almost succeeded. He needed 3 more people, and he would have done it. But it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. But this was a big moment because this was when Keanu became target number 1, and then for him to survive 10 more evictions, that's wild, you know. And of course Ashley. We have to put Ashley in there because she said something too. She was like, "Well, we're gonna send you home then," you know. I tell you, she was outspoken, you know. All right, number 3, the White Locust twist. This had multiple reactions, good and bad, but it was an iconic moment because it not only did it bring back a former house guest, Tyler, but it also eliminated the biggest Big Brother legend in history, all thanks to a spinning wheel. And she became the first juror of the season. So, yeah, this was a pretty rough twist. And needless to say, I don't think they're going to bring this back because people were fuming over this. Number 2, Ashley's vote flip. And this was one of the most talked about moments throughout the season. And I know we talked about it a lot on the show, on the recap show. it's just amazing how Ashley had so many people weren't calling her iconic, but she had so many iconic moments this season. She was in our top 10 countdown for like a lot of spots. But this was the one moment out of the season that had me gagged. I was like, what? What is she doing? Anyway, it was the vote between Jimmy and Kelly, and Ashley was just, she didn't know what to do, and Rachel was trying to tell her, get Kelly out, and then so she went in and voted for Kelly. But then Will was next, and Will let it be known that he's voting for Jimmy to leave, and that told Ashley that the majority of the house was going to vote for Jimmy to go. And so she's like, oh no. And she goes back in and tries to change her vote. She thinks she got her vote changed and that somebody voted to keep Jimmy. That wasn't the case. Once you say that first name, that's it. It's solidified. You don't get to change your vote. Okay? But the big moment of the season had to have been when Keanu won America's favorite house guest. It was well deserved, man, because you played your heart out this season more than any of those house guests. So when you got evicted, it drew a lot of sympathy. There's always one house guest that their eviction draws a lot of sympathy to others. And it was the guy. Like I said, I root for the underdogs. So this was a well-deserved win. All right, that's a wrap on the Big Brother Recap Show. Let's stop it right there. Okay, well, that was it. That's the last recap I have for Big Brother 27. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who watched my recap show over the summer. It was a long journey, but we made it, and what a season it was. I'm sure I'll go back and binge watch it again. I know recently I just binge watched season 26 with some of my Discord friends, and we're probably going to binge watch season 27. I know they've heard me talk about it, but they didn't get to actually watch it, and so we'll likely do that. Because I think they like to watch stuff when it's all like, you don't have to wait for episodes. It's like right then and there. So, yeah, just thank you guys for spending the summer with me, listening to my spiel. I know I had some rant moments during the show. It was another great summer, a memorable one for the 25th anniversary, 25 years of Big Brother. Glad to have been part of that celebration. But I can't wait to do it again next summer. I was kind of hoping for a celebrity Big Brother announcement, but who knows? Maybe we'll get something pretty soon. So that's a wrap for the recap show, but I still have content that I'm going to be releasing on the channel in the coming months, especially as we get ready to end the year. I'll have my annual countdown show. We're going to have my Grammy picks coming up at the end of on Halloween. We'll have my Grammy picks, who I think is going to get nominated, and yeah, just some cool, exciting stuff for the end of the year. So I'm looking forward to that. But as far as Big Brother, that is a wrap for the season. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.